Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. John with you, and I'm sorry, my voice just started getting a little bit crazy right now, which I apologize for, but I want to forge ahead and do this video because I take a medication that not every day but every few days, whenever randomly, it just seems to make my voice really raspy and it sounds like I'm sick, but I'm not. And it'll go away like in an hour, but I have things to do in an hour, so I want to do this video today. One of the people that I subscribe to, the channel is called Leila's Lovely Life. This month of November has done 30 days of thankfulness, and 30 days worth of things that she is thankful for in November. And I decided I would do that as well, not every single day, but because I think it's such a great idea. I mean, this has been such a crazy year for people and a lot of negativity on many fronts. And it's like, let's make it a point this month to give voice, and speak the things that we're thankful for. I think it's a great idea. So I'll link her channel down below and you can check her videos out to see the things that she's thankful for. Leila's Lovely Life. I always want to say Leila because in Hawaiian, L-E-I-L-A is Leila. So, but she says Leila. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about what I am thankful for. And today I want to speak about, I'm very thankful that I have, not exactly how to word this, but I'm very thankful for my hobbies, for my interests. And that may seem like an odd thing to say, but they are things that have been very, very constant and steady throughout my entire lifetime. I'm 59 years old. These interests started when I was a child, and they're still very much my hobbies today. And I say that also because my mother always used to comment that she thought it was, when I was still, in high school or junior high or whatever, she would say, it's so great that you have these interests and these hobbies, because she always said I never really had anything like that, which was kind of true when I think about my mother. I mean, she was a very happy person and wonderful person and whatever, but there wasn't anything that she was like, into, like stamp collecting or pottery making, or so there wasn't any particular thing that she liked doing. She wasn't really an avid reader, so that wasn't something. And I'm going to talk about my two main interests. Now, I have other interests and other hobbies, but these two are so constant, so steady in my life that they really have, told half the story of my life. And I'm sorry, my neighbors are deciding they're going to yell at each other from their downstairs up to the lanai up there, and they think they're so funny when they do it. Okay, so, but again, we're gonna forge ahead. Heck with it. The first thing would be my lifelong passion for collecting Hawaiian vinyl records. That was really started by my grandfather. My grandfather was an audiophile. He collected records. He particularly liked Hawaiian records because he had seen some traveling Hawaiian musicians earlier on in his life, and it kind of stayed with him and impressed him. And so he actually had a good collection of Hawaiian albums by the time I was born. And we would go and visit them. And I really wish they would stop yelling. Really, I mean, what is the point? Okay, I am thankful that my neighbors are not like drug dealers or violent people or creating a lot of problems. They just like to sing from their lanai, hymns in Micronesian, and they like to yell at each other from downstairs, upstairs. So whatever. But I'm thankful that that's all they're really doing. Being thankful. Okay, so yeah, so when I would hear Hawaiian records for me as a child, when he would play them, it just made me kind of homesick or something. I'm not going to go into the whole story here, but I'm just going to tell you, before I was 5 years old, I knew I wanted to live in Hawaii, and like my grandfather, I just developed a very early interest in music and record albums. And so they bought me a record player, my parents or grandparents, I don't remember who bought me the first one. And they all like actively would buy me records. So if they were going shopping somewhere, they would usually bring me, my grandparents would bring me a Hawaiian record back from somewhere. And, you know, my parents, when we would go shopping to the department store, the Five and Dime or whatever, they would often, if I would find something, they really encouraged it. So I had started collecting Hawaiian records as a young child. This actually is the first one I ever remember having, which was one that my grandfather gave me because he already had it. It was a budget label recording, and they were reissued under different covers and different names and stuff. And when he got this, he was like, oh, I already have this one, and he gave it to me. So this is the first one I remember ever having, and the first one I ever remember finagling my parents to buy was this one. Also a budget label, but I love this cover. But you have to understand, so for me, some of these songs, these standard Hawaiian songs, and some of these record albums have been a part of my life literally since I was in elementary school. And as a 59-year-old, they continue to be a daily part of my life. So I guess I would compare it in a way to say, in the way that Christmas music, like a lot of people love old Christmas music. A lot of young people even love old Christmas music. You know, they love to hear the Bing Crosby and the Frank Sinatra, and they may not listen to that at other times of the year, but at Christmas time, they love some of that old sort of traditional Christmas music. And it becomes a part of your life, like it's every year, you know, no matter how old you are, you hear those songs again and again. Well, for me, that's happening all the time with Hawaiian music and artists and records I've had for decades. And then I'm always hunting out new ones. And the search never ends. It's never ended yet. I have 2,500 Hawaiian records now. And I don't have all that there is. And I continue to look for them. And will continue to, you know, shop eBay, or when I go to different cities, go to thrift stores and look and see if you can find anything. And I love it. It's a lifelong hobby. The other lifelong hobby that I have had has been beauty pageants, which I don't talk about a lot on this channel, but from a very young age, again, I was in 5th grade when I saw my first Miss USA. I was living in upstate New York. Miss Hawaii won, and I was fixated on Hawaii already at that point. So the fact that she won just like made me go, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I wrote down when Miss Universe was going to be because they announced it. And I've seen every Miss USA and Miss Universe and almost every Miss America since then. And when I was living in high school, when I was in high school, I helped out with our high school pageant. When I lived in Oregon for a while is when I first actually volunteered with the Miss Portland Scholarship Pageant. When I moved back to Hawaii the second time, I eventually got involved with the Miss Hawaii USA Committee, which I've been involved with now since 2004. I've been on the committee of. And, you know, I'm not going to go into all the details and everything, but just to say that having something that you look forward to several times a year, whether it's your Miss Hawaii, Miss Universe, Miss USA, whatever, having these things throughout the year that you really look forward to, and now with the internet, we get to see all the other national competitions leading up to that and all this information. It's a great hobby to have, and you can have a lot of fun with it, and it kind of marks the years. I actually remember years, what happened, what year, or where I was at a certain year by where I was when I was watching Miss USA or Miss Universe or Miss Hawaii or whatever. Like, I can mark it that year. You can say, oh, 1987, you know, 1987. And I could tell you, well, 1987, both of those, Miss USA and Miss Universe, I was living in an apartment. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember where I was living at that time, and I moved not shortly after that. So it's like you can remember. I can remember. So I'm really thankful I've had those, because throughout my life I've met so many people, through pageants especially. I've met so many people through record collecting. Both, there's a community, you know, for that, especially online, a large record collecting community. But it's just given you a certain direction. Like, I don't understand. I don't know really if I didn't. I mean, you tell me if you don't have any, because I'm just curious. Like, they fill so much of my time, especially with this COVID pandemic. I mean, I have two radio stations now. One of them is Hawaiian Records with Hawaiian music that I run online. I work plenty of time on that. The pageant, as I said, I'm on the committee. We're in this pageant season right now, so we're helping contestants and things leading up to the pageant. So I don't understand, like, if you didn't have hobbies or I didn't have those interests, like, what would I be doing? Other than work, of course, but like what? I mean, I guess I understand people, families and kids, and you don't have time and all of that, but you know, if you're single, which I am, and I don't know, like I don't know, what would you fill your time with if you didn't have hobbies and interests? I don't know. You tell me. Tell me if you don't have any. Tell me. Anyway, that's what I am very thankful for today. I am very thankful that I have these hobbies and interests that have been lifelong passions of mine. These aren't the only two. I have other hobbies too, but these are the two that are just a mainstay, nonstop throughout my life, constant. And I'm really thankful to have them because I've met so many people through them, and so enjoyed music so much. Music has been a part of my life, and it's like Christmas all year for me because I hear songs that I've loved since childhood, and I'm always excited to discover a new record and a new song I didn't know about that somebody wrote, and that still happens. So I'm really thankful for that today. So what are you thankful for? We'll talk to you in the next video.